Today, Kenny, we're talking about the Cliff Harris Award and a guy that put together a ridiculous season last year, that being Tanner Volk from Central Washington. There is the picture right there. Cliff Harris Award given to the Small College Defensive Player of the Year. And that is the man that took home the award. And for those maybe not familiar like you as far as Cliff Harris is concerned, he's a guy that played at Ouachita Baptist, a D2 in the GAC. Their stadium is actually named after him. Kenny, I'll pull up a photo
Cliff
here
Harris?
so you can. Yes, their stadium is named after the player here, if I can find it here shortly. But Cliff Harris was a guy that went on to the NFL and saw a ton of success with the Dallas Cowboys. I'll give you a list of some of his accolades here shortly. But this is, I think, a pretty good shot of the stadium over at Ouachita there. What do you think?
It looks really nice.
Pretty nice, huh?
I wish we had something like this at Northern, but we still have the dome.
I was just saying, what are you talking about? We got the Superior Dome up here. I would take the dome over this for sure. Bro.
True.
Yeah.
But if it had a little bit of that in the dome,
yep,
it'll be perfect.
Yeah, no, this is a good look though. But the thing is, this is kind of only like one side of it, so you see like that is a good look at the stadium right there. They got a nice setup. When they fill that thing up, they got a nice setup. You can see it's just like the one side of big bleachers. It's not like a whole enclosed deal.
That was just like when I went to Adrian, because when I was at Finlandia, I was the manager there. I went to all these nice fields, and it looks just like the one at Adrian.
Yeah.
That
what's the best D3 field you've seen?
Not Finlandia's, but I think Adrian is the best D3 school I saw.
Adrian, best field? I hear you.
But yeah,
I hear you.
The worst one I went to was, I'm sorry, rest in peace, Iowa Wesleyan.
Iowa Wesleyan, huh?
Yes.
Huh.
Because they're just on a high school.
Yeah, a lot of teams share like that. It's kind of tough for them. You know what I mean?
It's all grass. It's like just one little bleachers, and once it's just
tough.
It was not a fun trip down there because we got blown out, and now both teams are not
even around anymore, right? Yeah, that stinks.
That was the worst trip I think ever I've been on.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I don't mind going to Adrian because Adrian's really good.
Yeah. That my AA teams, man. That league's been pretty legit. But talking about Tanner here, he's a guy that he had 13 picks this year, Kenny.
What?
13 interceptions. And that's why you win an award like this.
I've never seen anyone with that many picks.
Now you have. He's sitting right up there on the screen, brother. He was insane this year. Otherwise, stats for him, you're looking at 64 solos, 60 assisted tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 17 pass deflections, a forced fumble recovery. He filled up the whole stat book, right? And that's which was so incredible about his game. And I think even more so is that he just elevated that team. The defense, more specifically, not just him. The defense for that team had him go down and after losing in the Lone Star Championship, go on and make a little bit of a run there in the playoffs, beat a really solid Bemidji team. They did some really special things in that playoff run, and most of it was due to that defense they got. But talking about the award, he's only the second player from the Lone Star Conference to win the award since its inception. I think it was about like 2013 or so. It's a relatively newer award as far as college football goes. Cliff Harris, though, he was undrafted out of Ouachita Baptist. He won a starting spot as a rookie with the Cowboys. Then he got called into military service.
What?
So he steps away from football, gets called into active military service, comes back, keeps ball, and picks up his spot right where he left off.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is like patriotic as hell. That is awesome.
That's a great player.
Isn't that crazy?
I wish you had someone like that at Northern or like at
anywhere, man. I would take that.
I would love watching it in person.
Yes, dude. I'm with you. But he comes back to the Cowboys. He ended up playing in 5 Super Bowls. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, first team All-NFL for 4 consecutive seasons, and then he's now in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. So that's the short story here on this man, Cliff Harris. And
is Cliff Harris in the Pro Football Hall of Fame yet?
That is a good question. I don't know if he is or not. You can see that there's the Cowboys logo right behind Tanner right there, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, just a really special award for him. And when it comes to the selection committee for the award, we'll just keep talking about it a little bit. As far as some of the names on the award that you might know of, I can just throw them on the screen for you. How about that? Be a little easier. Check these out. Can you read those from over there, brother?
Yes, I can.
You can. What names pop out to you on that one right there? That first one.
Roger Staubach.
Yeah. That's a big one. That is a big one. And then there's also other great names on there as well. But Roger, first and foremost, is pretty crazy on there. Yeah.
Drew up there. Parsons.
Pearson.
Pearson.
Yeah, Drew Pearson. Yeah, I believe so.
And Cliff Harris, of course.
There, yeah, well, that makes sense. The ward's named after him, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's your selection committee, and when you look at the experience that goes into picking this award, this is everything as far as all the accolades of the people that are on this. 45 Super Bowl appearances, 54 Pro Bowl appearances, a lot of All-Pro selections, some Hall of Famers, coaching Hall of Famers, a Heisman Trophy winner, a Super Bowl MVP. Like, I think sometimes people associate these small college football awards with just a group of people like you and me sitting in a basement and just talking about, hey, who do we think should win? There are some star-studded names on this list, man, and it's a lot of consideration and other things that go into the criteria for this award. And there's a D3, an NAIA winner, and a D2 winner, but Tanner was the overall winner this year. So people from each division get represented, but there's only one overall winner, and that was Tanner had the honor of that this year.
Maybe next year we'll have one Northern.
You never know, dude. You never know. We can actually look at some of the previous winners here. I'll pull them up. There's definitely some names you'll recognize on this list. And you can see here some of the other division representatives from this year. There's your NAI award winner from Grandview, and then the D3. We talk a lot about Owen Grover on this show at Wartburg. But going back even further, how about Caleb Murphy from Ferris State, breaking the NCAA all-time sack record?
I didn't watch that much last year, but he was really good.
He was insane. Sam Roberts. You go down. Kyle Duggar. There you go. We were talking about him before the show. A guy that Patriots guy that just signed a new deal, correct?
I'm pretty sure.
You know how much money? I can fact check it. No, I got it. Don't worry about it, brother.
I'm pretty sure he signed a new deal. Don't quote me.
Let's see. 4-year deal worth up to $58 million.
See, I was right.
There you go. That's pretty good money for a D2 guy.
Yes.
It's pretty good money in general.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yes. But there's, like I said, a lot of great names on this list. Duggar's just kind of the tip of the iceberg
Corey
there.
Ballantyne, the Packers player right now.
There you go, man. You see it from Washburn down there. Michael Joseph from Dubuque. And then you've got Connor Harris. I'm not familiar with more of these guys.
But Corey Ballantyne, I know that guy because he's now with the Packers.
Mm-hmm. But there you go. Looks like 2013 was that inaugural year. Cornerback from Lindenwood, who has now moved actually up to FCS. They're a D1 squad now.
Oh, not bad.
Yep. But that's the short story on Tanner, man. That's big time for him and for that program. They're staged to hopefully have another big time year, but they are losing some really big pieces. You talk about Volk and Rogers in the defensive secondary for them guys
leaving?
We talk about.
Is the guy leaving?
Yeah, it was his last year, I believe. Actually, you know what? Volk might be back for one more year. I'll double check that. I know Pat Rogers, the other guy in the secondary there, is leaving, so they're going to miss quite a few pieces on that defensive front.
Is he heading to the draft?
Yes, he is. He had a couple of pro days. We're actually going to hopefully have him on here on the show sometime soon. But I believe, again, I'll have to pull that. I believe Tanner actually, now that I think about it, has another year.
Okay.
Let me double check that before we move on. Yeah, he's a junior. He's got one more year. That's correct. Okay. So Tanner is back. The dude who won it is back.
He might win it back-to-back years.
That'd be pretty incredible. And going through that list, he'd be the first one to be able to do that. He's going to have another crazy season, like 13 picks. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But certainly not impossible, especially for a guy like him. Let's move on, though.